So my name is Sergio. This is my beautiful partner, Rebecca.
Amen.
4 months ago, we got introduced to something pretty profound. She's going to be the model. Something pretty profound. When Rebecca was in Melbourne at the time, she was introduced to this incredible product that she was a little bit like, I'll say skeptical about it, but was very interested. She comes from a health and wellness background of about 30 years. And in case you're wondering why I'm speaking for her, is that she spends a lot of Mondays on a lot of calls. So just to give her a breather, but she'll talk at some point. And so again, 4 months ago, was introduced to her and she tried this incredible product, which we'll talk about. And within 5 days, she was able to get off her, sorry, I'm just trying to mute somebody. She was able to get off her steroids that she uses for her asthma. And you've used that for how many years? 12 years,
Yep.
which is a pretty profound thing to happen for her in a very short period. So at that particular time, she told me about it. I was in Auckland at the time. And I was like, wow, this sounds pretty amazing. So it's an incredible new technology. It is made from curcumin. And like I said, we'll go into that in a few minutes. But I was given the obviously the benefit of trying it. And I had some pretty profound benefits myself. I won't go into all of them because there was a few, but I was sleeping better, I was sleeping heavy. I felt rejuvenated when I woke up, which is fantastic. I had no brain fog. You will see a lot of testimonials in the presentation. We might even get, if we have time, we'll do maybe a couple of live ones, but we'll just make sure we keep them short. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share the screen and I'm just going to run through a presentation for you. And as I said, any questions, just pop them in the chat, please. Please make sure you're muted. Thanks so much. And I'll just shut that one down. I'm gonna have to do these myself. Sorry, folks, I just gotta mute.
Just check if you're not muted already.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. That's
appreciate it
such
so
a
much.
big help. Right. So can just get a thumbs up from Betty because I can see your faces. Can you see that, Vita Wellness? Awesome. Fantastic. So welcome to our presentation. We are Vita Wellness, well, global. You see that wonderful picture there. Oopsie, not that way. Legal disclaimer to start with. What you're about to see is pretty, well, I imagine it's pretty profound. But as anything, this is not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat any disease. We do say, from a legal perspective, because this product is it's actually European, but it comes out of America. The FDA over there requires that that children under 18 shouldn't take it, but the reality is we have a lot of children taking the product, and we got a lot of testimonials about that. But it's just for legal reasons we have to keep it up there. Obviously, breastfeeding, please consult your doctor. And if you have any other medications that you're taking, please consult your doctor as well. So inflammation, it's the root cause of a lot of health conditions. And I won't read through all of these here, but you might relate to a lot of them. I certainly know for myself, actually anxiety was one thing that really reduced in taking this incredible product. But, inflammation causes obviously a lot of issues for our health and well-being. So just let somebody else in. So there's a wonderful statement at the bottom. It says at any given time, we're either in a state of inflammation and degeneration or healing and regeneration. So preferably we want to look at the latter. And this is definitely something that this product does offer. Okay. So what is curcumin? And I'm pretty sure a lot of us have heard what curcumin is. It is the active ingredient in turmeric, or curcuma longa, It is a widely used alternative medicine, especially in the East. We will know it as being more used very widely in India. And it is purported to have very powerful anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-cancer properties. And it does date back I think well over 4,000 years. Now, it is actually one of the most researched and widely studied natural medicines. This is off the PubMed US government website, where a lot of the scientific community put up their studies on particular medicines and so forth. This is obviously from the curcumin. It dates back to from 1949 to now, and it's got it's probably over 21,500 studies. But the main consensus around it, though, is that curcumin is really poorly bioavailable in the body. What does that mean? It's in layman's terms, it doesn't absorb well in the body. A lot of people don't know that. There's a lot of products, curcumin products on the market, but from the science perspective, the main issue around that is that because of its low absorbability and solubility, and it's very unstable when it comes to water, because it's actually a very oily. It's curcumin by its natural effect is very oily. So when it reaches the water in the body, it doesn't cross into the cells very well at all. So generally what happens is that the curcumin that you'll take is excreted out of the body, and the science proves this. So what we want to look at is what's the answer. And in the PubMed, a lot of the science data shows around that technology is going to be the thing that can get the benefit out of curcumin. So what we want to look at here is what's called BioMS technology. And this is essentially what this is actually all about. Not so much that this technology is paired with curcumin. It's going to be able to be utilized in a vast array of poorly absorbed supplements. Oops. Sorry, guys. So this is just an animation of what this BioMS is. It's basically nanotechnology, and it gives the opportunity for the curcumin to be wrapped in what's called a micelle structure. Now, nanotechnology is obviously taking something and making it immensely small. For argument's sake, your thumbnail, it's like cutting your thumbnail into 1 million pieces. So incredibly small. So what this encapsulation does, this micelle structure does, is it allows the curcumin to not run into the issues that it would normally run into around bioavailability in the body. So what happens then is once this goes into the body, the micelle structure, when it reaches the stomach, it will basically, it gets excreted out, and then the curcumin is allowed to pass through into the bloodstream. So this incredible technology allows it to reach the bloodstream within about 5 minutes and into the cells. Also crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is immensely rare. And we're seeing a vast array of data and testimonies with people with cognitive issues. So this is just another quick example of native curcumin extract powder, which we see, or turmeric powder that we see a lot of, and our technology. So it's a pretty sort of powerful thing. You think, what am I looking at there? But this is what actually happens basically when powders go into the body. So it's not very effective at all. And this amazing technology has incredible percentages in the body of upward of 90%. So it is patented, which is amazing. And what is incredible here is look at those numbers, 277 times more in women. And the study showed that in men, it was about 114 times, which is still very, very high. So, and taking the product to as little as 10 drops a day, it's equivalent to about 17 pounds
Mhm.
of turmeric powder or curcumin extract. That's phenomenal, right? To think, and also what's incredible as well is because of the nanotechnology, and for the size that it's broken down into, you can use less curcumin with greater effect, right? Which is amazing. So it is a major breakthrough in the supplement industry. So these are the products that we're going to look at. We have the NanoFi, which, oh, they can see that, sorry. The NanoFi, which is has the BioMS technology. It is curcumin with vitamin D3, and it gives obviously the body the opportunity to heal and do what it needs to do for itself. So in response to inflammation and, say, intestinal challenges. The next one is the Curcumin Plus, which is actually, we were having a call today, and this product in itself, as well as the other one, but this particular product, which has vitamin D, vitamin C, and ginger, is exclusive to us. We'll say us, but you know, we're the ones that that are sharing this with you. So the company there, Vitify, this is an exclusive product with that BioMS technology. It's an incredible, and actually, from what we understand, was actually bought in as a to help people with a lot of COVID-related issues and so forth. SynBioFi is a probiotic and prebiotic herbs. So what we wanted to, the company in itself wanted to look at was to, you have the second brain, which we all know, we hear it, it's the stomach. 95% of your serotonin is created in the stomach. So what is serotonin? It's your feel-good chemical. And there's a lot of incredible research around the stomach and things like depression and so forth. So the company made this incredible SynBioFi product to be able to realign the stomach, and obviously in association with using the curcumin, the NanoFi, or the Curcumin Plus, we're able to basically allow the body to start to do what it should do best, which is to heal itself. So simplicity, it's as little as 10 drops a day. It is a very low cost product in my mind for what it does and for the technology that it has. It's GMO free. It is a natural antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. I know in the beginning in the disclaimer, but it is great for children and pets. There's a ton of testimonies about that. So basically, we term it as everyone wants better sleep, increased energy, reduced pain, and improved clarity. So as I stated before, my brain fog lifted within days, which is fantastic, especially, you know, when you're dealing with a lot of work and stress. So we talk about powerful testimonials. I'd like to show a few pictures, and then I'll probably unshare and just get a couple of live testimonies, because I think it's quite powerful that people that are here can share. And if we can keep those to a minute, please, maximum, that would be fantastic. So like here on the left, we've got Ava. This is actually our granddaughter, and Jess is on the call. She gives her drops in her breakfast, and she's seen, she's what, 3.5 now, so heading to 4. But you know what happens with 3-year-olds, and one of the benefits for her was the ability to sort of, you know, her little temper tantrums, if we want to call it that, didn't last as long as they were before. So it's pretty amazing. You've got testimonials there on things like lower back pain that's improved, anxiety, huge improvement. You know, things like arthritis with people with, you know, being able to close their hands and feeling a great benefit from taking the product. There's Rebecca's one there, which you heard about her asthma. Oops, what's it going backwards? And then I always find this the most profound one, is the foot here. this is hard to believe that this was in 3 days of taking this product. And a lot of people say, well, you know, is that kind of too good to be true? How can they do that? This is the benefit of having the biomass technology and the nanotechnology with such a potent product like curcumin. IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, and look at that lady's face there. You can clearly see quite a difference. When we talk about pets, horses, dogs, what's the ratio? I keep forgetting for pets.
So it's 1 drop per 4 kilos of body weight.
Yeah.
And for a child, it's 1 drop per year of age.
Yeah. So a lot of people are giving it to their pets and with great success. So I'll come back to this one now. I'm just going to unshare, guys, ladies and gents, I should say. And I always love calling people out. So who have I got? Actually, I know I'm going to call out. Unshin, you can go. So
Thanks,
just keep it to about, sorry to be, I'm trying to be rude, but keep to about a minute, because a lot of people get a lot of great benefits, and before you know it, it turns into quite a long testimony. So thanks, Unshin.
Yeah, no problem. I'll keep this really short. So I took this it's probably about two months ago now. And the immediate results I saw was my sleep improved, the brain fog as well. But I think the most profound for me was I am going through menopause, night sweats. It's hilarious. Not anymore because I don't have them. So ever since I've been taking that it's been a profound change for myself in not having night sweats. So I think I'm under 30 seconds.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Louise said she had one to share. Louise has had her own profound benefits with this product, but yeah, share what you've got there. That'd be great.
Yeah, I have actually, but I wanted to share tonight on behalf of a friend of mine who has just not long started the drops. He had COVID in the very early stages of the pandemic, and he's had long COVID ever since. He was in hospital in the US on a respirator for about 3 weeks, and he lives in Thailand, and so I sent him a couple of bottles and he started, and then he ordered a wholesale pack to be sent to America, where he just arrived. It's not there because of the it hasn't been delivered yet, but he didn't take his bottles. So the point of saying that is that he said to me today, "Oh, Louise, I think these are helping me far more than I believed they were initially, because my knees are so painful. I can't wait for my order to arrive."
Wow.
Because he thought he was in the category of people that were going to be a bit slower. So I thought it was a really nice testimony to share, someone who's getting benefits.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Actually, can I ask Joanne if you wouldn't mind maybe sharing really quickly? Maybe, Joanne? She's here. Hey, yeah.
Oh, hi, Joan.
Hey, kia ora, you talking to me, Joanne?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard you had a great result.
Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so I've been playing the guitar for 50 years. I'm a left-handed player. And over the last 3 years, I've got a pain level of when I play the guitar now because of the just stuff that's been happening in the front of my wrist here. I'll see if you can see it there. Just and it's just been hugely painful. I'd say it's like an 8 all of the time. And then my dog tripped me over and broke a bone in it. And so it's just been an 8 all the time. I took the drops at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. I went to work to teach at 9:45. I picked up the guitar to play it, and I had no pain. I was absolutely blown away. I played the guitar for 13 minutes, and I've still got no pain.
That's your first dose of the drops, is that right?
That's my first dose of the drops. My first 10 drops of has just really blown me away. It's phenomenal.
Amazing. Thanks for that.
Gosh. Wow.
We've got a couple of other stories here about, you know, high blood pressure, coming off or lowering thyroid medication, being free from anxiety after 30 years. Like the testimonies abound in this group. My own mum with her osteoarthritis, I'll just cover a couple quickly just to give you the scope of how vast this product is and how universal. Couldn't grip last year and then started on the drops, and within a few weeks started to get all her grip back again. People that have had, you know, migraines, pain from endometriosis, you name it. So we're finding that the application for this product is helping with some chronic inflammatory conditions, some acute things. It can be used topically, and also in emergency situations like for migraines or period pain. It's also very good. So you can put it on burns. We've seen, I've had a burn that I've put it on and I have no scarring from that burn. So the product is just a miracle in a bottle, honestly. It's we're very, very blessed to have it.
Yeah, actually, just to add to, you know, you hear these profound kind of, we haven't said it for a while, but I'll say it now, we deemed it sometimes too good to be true, right? Because, you know, as much as our human nature is to want things to happen like yesterday, like when we take something, when something does arrive like that, you kind of like, oh God, is that too good to be true? Now you hear these wonderful testimonies, and Joanne, that's incredible to think, to take something, take 10 drops and get such profound results. But for some people it happens quickly, and for others it, you know, might take a week or two.
Might ask Andy to share too.
Oh yeah, Andy B. Wow, that's incredible.
Andy, would you mind sharing that?
You just put something in the chat. We would love for you to share if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem at all. So I developed Meniere's disease a couple of years ago. I didn't actually know what it was until I sort of fell over the floor with the nausea and what have you. Got it diagnosed, did a little bit of the pharmaceutical stuff, but I'm not a fan of that, so gave that away. And then Gary Mulder, my functional nutritionist, has been helping me with minerals and flushing toxins. So kind of it fixed that side of the head particularly now. So I don't have the nausea anymore, but there's a lot of ringing in that ear. But what I've noticed is that I've only been on it for 3 days. But what I've noticed that whole area of the head, which was all kind of like a little bit like you say, the brain fog, Sergio, that's all gone. So it's just concentrated now to the buzzing in the ears. And what I noticed interestingly this morning was that when I woke up, there was no buzzing at all. And then as you start getting active and movement and the buzzing started again. So that's an incredible result for 3 days. Yeah, it really is. And that must be the inflammatory side of things coming down under control. So yeah, remarkable, truly.
Wow, thanks for sharing that.
So Andy,
great.
I didn't realize we actually were speaking to Andy the other day on the phone. So I didn't know it was you. I didn't realize it was you, Andy. But like I sent that down to him a few days back. So I'm over the moon to hear that for you, Andy. That's remarkable.
Some people do have you know, more chronic conditions that do take weeks to start resolving. For some people it's even longer than that. But what's interesting is that they often don't realize that they've had these improvements along the way, and they're sort of integrating into wellness. And then it's not until some reflection later that they realize, oh, well, actually that's resolved, and the reason I couldn't sleep more than 2 hours a night was because of that. And actually that, you know, so it's a really fascinating, you know, it's such a powerful medicine a natural medicine that we've got, and this delivery system that's able to bring that straight into the cells and be so fast acting and super low cost. So we'll get into that in just a second.
Yeah, just lastly to add to that is one thing that I did look at, or we both did, to be really honest, and I'm sure you're all probably wondering, especially you new people, is around the safety. This product is backed by science, and which is, I wouldn't say rare, but especially with something natural, right? So we do have all that paperwork, that scientific paperwork. Like if someone in here really wants to read into that, we do have it. Because safety, there are some data there that does show that the product is safe, which is pretty pretty remarkable.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to share back to where we were when we were talking about those testimonials. This is a group that's a Facebook group, which is an invite only. So if the person that's invited you here tonight can add you to this, and just make sure that you put the name of the person that's invited you. This is called Disruptive Wellness. It's upward of, I think, 15,000 members now, and it's all testimonials, pretty much like you've heard. So click the search into the search bar. You see the arrow there, and you can type in anything there. I don't know, arthritis, inflammation, headaches, migraines, and you'll generally find people's personal testimonials. So please go on to Disruptive Wellness. It's a fantastic resource. So we look at taking control of your life. So, I mean, this is in part, yes, this product is incredible, but what a lot of people have been able to do is they go, well, you know what, I want others to feel what I'm feeling, you know, and that's pretty much what Rebecca did. She had a wonderful quick story that, you know, she gave out when she got some of her bottles. She gave out, what was it, half a dozen or so bottles, a dozen or so, out to people just to see how they were able to feel, and she saw such profound changes in a lot of those people. So there's a great opportunity here to not just improve your health, but obviously to improve your finances as well. And we know in this current economic climate, finances, along with I don't know who people here are in New Zealand, but you know, petrol just went up another 30 cents, which is, you know, pretty frightening. Food and so forth. So to be able to give ourselves an opportunity to be able to make additional income, I think who wouldn't want to be interested in that? So just let one more person in. Okay, so we call this a low, oh, geez, sorry guys, this thing's a bit sensitive at the moment. It's low cost, affordable business. You can do it part-time, you can earn residual income. At the moment, we're just opened in Australia and New Zealand. We'll say open, we're in what we call a pre-launch position. So I'll talk about that in a minute. We don't have a retirement age. You can pretty much, you work for yourself, you can start straight away. And we have a lot of training and support and an incredible community of people. So that wonderful sentence at the bottom, it says, be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So this is wonderful, the mission to company. Okay, so, you know, when we look at any kind of opportunity, we want to look at, is the company a startup? Because that, you know, generally when companies are in startup mode, there's a high chance the numbers are staggeringly high in New Zealand, which has, within the first 5 years, about 85 to 90% of small businesses will fail, unfortunately. But this business was started coming up 6 years, so it's not a startup. This is Shane and Laura Brady, the owners. It's a family-owned business. They own 90% of this, and the other 10% is family members. Shane has been 20 years in direct sales in the supplement industry. His father was a biochemist, and so was his uncle. Very, very knowledgeable man when it comes to, I would say, the health and wellness sector. And along with him and his wife, they decided, I mean, that's their statement there around leaving doubts and fears behind, because they really had a lot of that before they launched Beautify.
Yeah, I want to give a big
so can you just mute somebody, whoever just came in, please? So the business has been operating since 2016, and you probably think, why Mexico? That's where Shane and Laura lived. They lived in Cancun, Mexico for 12 years. And the business started organically there and eventually started to reach out, I think 2.5 odd years ago, into the USA. Europe has literally just opened last week. And we are in a pre-launch stage in Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, okay? So when we talk about that, we look here and go, okay, in terms of, it's not a startup, and we are heading out of, obviously, from year 5 to year 6. This business will be, it's exploding, okay? I mean, for a lot of reasons. One, the product is incredible. Two, the business model is, I think, easily as incredible. And people are obviously, like I said, looking for better health and better finances. So it's a great, opportunity to join us. So in pre-launching Australia and New Zealand, and there are some other countries that we can talk about as well. So, and we've seen some significant, changes in, our health and finances, and especially of some of the people that are here. So, business in a bottle. Did you want to go through it?
Yeah, so I'll take over this bit. This is my favorite bit. We are really spearheading this launch into Australia and New Zealand, and we've broken company records with our speed of our growth. So this is a strong passion of mine, and we have the opportunity to not only have access to this product, but to have access to it at wholesale prices, which is pretty exciting. We'll go through those in a minute, and also to generate some income. So when we talk about wholesale kits, the only way at the moment that we're able to access the product is to buy it wholesale, because we're not officially open in New Zealand and Australia just yet, but that won't be too far off, a few months, and we should have everything set up for local shipping. We'll have our own distribution centres, and be able to run business formally here with customers. But at this stage, you've got 3 entry-level options for becoming a wholesaler or a distributor, or both. So the first kit is the Kit 250 PV, which is a personal use kit, we call it. It has 6 bottles of product, so each bottle is a month's supply. You've got 3 bottles of curcumin, Nanofy curcumin, 3 bottles of curcumin plus, and 5 boxes of the Symbiofy pre-probiotic. You're getting more than double the value at a recommended retail price of the box that you're purchasing. So the cost for that one is $349 USD, including shipping to Australia and New Zealand from America. So it comes direct from the US, from headquarters to us. And there's a commission on that pack. So what the option is, as we'll discuss in a bit, is when you do sign up and become a wholesale purchaser, you also get the option, and it is optional, to develop a business in distribution, which is really just a model. It's not a hard work business at all. It's quite a fun business, actually, and we'll talk about that soon. The next kit is the 500 PV kit. Has quite a bit more product in it. It has 22 bottles of product. So this is the kit that I purchased initially when I had such a profound result with my own health condition. And I decided to send a whole lot of product out to people, and I wanted to really test the market and see, was this just a one-off, or was this sort of across the board? Could other people have some great results too? And I needed to be really convicted, and I really wanted to be able to back the product wholeheartedly. So this is the kit that I purchased, and I sent all the bottles out to people just in the mail, really easy to post out. And it has $1,210 of retail value. So it's a $699 USD investment for about almost $2,000 worth of stock in New Zealand, and just a bit less than that in Australian dollars. And there's a $120 commission that is it comes with that kit. This one here is by far the best one for business, because it gives you 48. Sorry, can you just mute if you've just come in? Just check that you are on mute, please. This one has 48 bottles of product, so 24 Nanofy, 24 curcumin plus. And the retail value of that is over $4,000 in either Australian or New Zealand dollars. And there's a $250 US commission on that kit. So what that means is that if you chat to people about this and they want to invest and buy a box or buy a kit up front with wholesale at wholesale cost, you're going to get that commission just for referring, which is really quite a nice sort of bonus for sharing the business. And in all of these options, you get a business setup and extra qualifying volume, which we'll touch on just very quickly in a minute. So when you're looking at something like this, what we try to explain to people is that this is an emerging market, and the wellness industry is obviously, has always been sort of the next big thing. But when you're talking about nanotech and wellness together, and especially pairing supplements or natural medicine with nanotechnology and a delivery system such as ours, which is patented, this really is the next big thing to invest into. So we would consider this an investment as you would maybe invest into anything that was emerging, that was growing, that was exploding. And so what you would look at is the viability of something like this to invest into. So it's a low cost, high impact, high demand product for sure. And when we talk about low cost, 25 USD a bottle, that's a month's supply at wholesale. That's pretty low cost, considering what the product can do to change lives. It's certainly going to be a high demand product, and we're only just getting started. So we really encourage everybody to consider the positioning and the timing of this opportunity. It is exclusive pre-launch market positioning. Because we're not officially open yet, we still have a few months to get excited, to share this, to develop teams, to earn some commissions, to really start to set ourselves up financially for when we do open, and we can go out and share this with thousands of customers and make 100% retail markup on the product. But in the meantime, we're building up a team of distribution, which is also very, very lucrative. You can certainly grow this type of business anywhere. And as long as you've got access to a computer or a mobile phone, it's pretty much, everything can be done online. And there is an immediate start support and income. You do get a virtual website, a back office, you get an e-wallet all set up. And this is a real legacy business for a lot of us. So the reason why we've been able to break records in our team in New Zealand and Australia is because we've developed what we call a 30-day success plan. We work with the compensation plan, the commission structure that the company has offered. So the company puts aside more than half of the retail profit back to distributors, and also a very large portion of the wholesale profit back to distributors. So this is an example of how quickly you can start to generate an income by sharing the product. So some of you may have come along to listen about the product and hear the testimonies. That's great. But at the moment, what we're really encouraging people to do is consider joining us in a team so that we can really move this product and bring it to market. Because unless we can build the demand for the product and get it out there and share it, the company can't necessarily just come and open up shop and hope people buy. So that's why they have asked us to assist them in promoting and sharing the benefits of the product. So this example is, sorry, somebody's been to mute. Angela?
Angela, can you mute, please?
Thank you.
Sorry.
So in this example, we've got Denise, who is my mum. And of course, I shared my benefits with her, and she was excited to try the product, but she couldn't get the product for about 6 weeks in Queensland. So she just had to basically go on faith and trust in the benefits that others were getting. So you don't necessarily need the product to build a business, but I'm just going to give you this example. Denise purchased a 500 PV kit, and it did take quite a while to get to her. We've since, got much faster shipping now. She had a friend who purchased a 250 kit, another one who purchased a 500 kit, and a third friend who purchased a 1250 PV kit. So what Denise had was she invested $699 USD, and she got more than double the value in product. And because she referred or technically enrolled these friends of hers who all bought a wholesale pack, she got commissions on those products totaling 848 USD. Now Denise did this in 2 weeks' time. So in this example, which is a real example, she received 848 USD, and she had $1,200 worth of product. And if you take off her original investment, she's still way ahead in 2 weeks in the business. And her business has grown and grown and grown, and now has close to 200 people in it. And she's certainly made more back than just her initial investment. And she's very happy. I brought her out of retirement for this, so she might just be able to comment on that a little bit later. So certainly you have lots of resources and support. What we've developed is the ability to replicate a system to generate a 5-figure-a-month income in 3 to 6 months in our team. And we are proving that that's possible. So you're certainly in the right time and space and team with us. We have developed resources. We've got Vita Wellness Global, which is a beautiful Facebook page that anybody can come and have a look at. There's some mini presentations there. There's some doctors' interviews, doctors who've given the products to thousands of patients. There's lots of validation for the product and some beautiful resources. So we've really done a lot of the work for our team members. We have a global hub, which is for our members and distributors only. And it is training and education support and resources. And it's a lot of it is self-directed learning. We've put everything into guides, and there are step-by-step training materials to help you grow your business in a bottle from anywhere in the world. And we certainly are very, very invested in our team and big on providing that support, because we understand that it is a duplication and it is a people business. It is about helping people in every single way, not just with their health, but also with their personal development, with their financial situations. Whatever we can do to help and assist you, we are committed to doing. So as I mentioned, in our hub, we've got a beautiful guide section here where everything is just step by step, how to get started, lots of testimonies, presentations. We've got beautiful tools to present to practitioners, to wellness practitioners. We're working on some things for sports people. We've got lots of files. We've got all the science that you might want to share with people that are interested in the science. We're currently talking to lots of naturopaths, and there's some doctors and nurses on board. We've got certainly a lot of scope for physios, osteos, and that sort of thing. And then there's a lot of people that have never, ever been in the wellness industry or networked before, that have just had such great success with product that they are just sharing their hearts out, let's say. We have our Monday motivation. So every Monday we have this call at 8 p.m. New Zealand time and 6 p.m. Australian time. We have a live Q&A in our Vita Wellness Global Hub, which we do live updates, we do answer questions, we fill people in with what our corporate leaders are filtering down through the chain of command there. So we're always keeping everybody in the loop. So we have a whole system complete for you. So your options are come in where you fit in. If you would like to just buy the product, buy a single bottle from the person that invited you here, I'm sure that's possible. We can't really supply a lot of retail to customers at this moment because we're still not set up for that. But you can certainly join us in buying a wholesale amount of product and getting that at half price. Or if you really like to join us in, changing your life for the better and, looking at developing a 5-figure-a-month income in 3 to 6 months, there are many of us who are doing that, and we can show you exactly how. So we'd really love to work with you all and activate your healing and regeneration in whichever way you feel that would work for you best.
Before we get into some questions, I know we had the testimonials before on health. Not that I'm going to go for testimonials on finance, but what I'd like is just maybe 1 or 2 on the resources, because I know you hear it from us. Rebecca is basically the architect along with Jess and myself in creating those resources, but you hear that from us, but what would it be like to hear it from actually the people that are involved?
Maybe Louise.
Louise and Angana, we worked very closely with her recently, but just a short testimony on the support that you get through not just us, but obviously through the hub, please.
Yeah, sure. It makes me cry, to be honest, because Rebecca and Sergio have been so unbelievably supportive, and they're not even my direct sponsor. I'm just being placed in there. And I've never done this before, and I have a natural tendency to network because I like to share things that I believe in, but it's still a challenge when you've got a product involved and there's other things attached to it. Like if I'm just sharing about something that, you know, I'm not selling something, then that's kind of easier. But I have had such good results from the product, life savings results, and because of that, you know, I believe in it, and they've helped me so much because, you know, I'm a person that I don't socialize a lot, and so I don't have a working network of friends or colleagues that I can call upon like other people do. So it's really I have to kind of think right outside the box and trust, and that they believe in me so much that it's helping me believe in me so much, which is actually really quite phenomenal and a real blessing. I can't believe how, like,
Just to quickly add to that, Louise, as I mentioned, she's not been a health practitioner. She's not been a networker. She had such life-changing results that she started sharing this, and she's now working with doctors who rely on her to share this with their patients. She moved about $25,000 worth of bottles in June to people that needed them. So she's been richly rewarded for that, but it's been, you know, what a journey. Hasn't it been incredible? So many rewards, not just the financial rewards, but knowing that you had that direct impact in somebody's life that's really helping them. Hearing the testimonies, working as a team, we're super supportive, you know, we've all got each other's back. So that's just, I love your story, and she's such a hard worker, but she's learning and learning and learning. And I love that because she's a student of the
fast track.
Yeah.
Thanks, Louise. That's amazing. You know, if you look at any business, I suppose it's to get support. You've either got support from a very small unit. You know, we've got quite a large team now, and it's large for a reason, because, you know, when you hear support, you know, what's on offer support wise, you don't come in here into these style of businesses, you're normally alone. You normally got to, we've heard this so often, you're normally alone. You normally got to work it out for yourself, which, let's be realistic, that's kind of business in general a lot of the time. But you know, we talk about community, and so support, you know, you got a community. This is probably one of the top teams in the world at the moment, and that's not an exaggeration. Just another question there that I think Amy put up about opening. We don't know yet. It could be early in the new. It could be early in the new year. When you talk about the bet, when you talk, okay, I'm not to blow smoke anywhere, okay, but when you talk about one of the better teams, we had a meeting today with the corporate, one of the sales director. We now had the humble privilege to be working with the owner to start to look at getting New Zealand up and running, as in registering, getting it open, compliance and everything. So that is pretty enormous, right? But we can't give a month. They couldn't give us a month. Obviously, there's a process we've all got to go through to get it, but the ball is rolling. And I can tell you that because we're firsthand the ones that are helping to roll it. So, yeah, when you talk about being in the right team, this is you know, we back it, and this is the right team. We've got some wonderful people that we're working with. Yeah, I mean, I can go on and on and on, but is there any other questions, anybody? That we've got plenty of expertise here, and Rebecca and myself, and
Denise,
some other team members
maybe just
as well.
quickly, if we could just, before that, just hear from Denise really quickly about your experience of coming out of retirement. Could you just unmute, and what that's done for you in such a short 3 months? Denise is, we're looking to get Denise to the top rank in the company this month. That's my goal. It's my mum, so I want to bring her along with me, of course, and share everything that I can with her and my daughter. So we've got multiple generations in our team, and we do consider everybody family anyway. But she started off doing this for me, and I think now she's doing it for herself. So is that right?
Yeah, mid-March, she told me about it, and I'm a great grandmother and totally retired up in the sun in Queensland. And it had to be something pretty amazing to get me to have a look at it, not only look at it, but see exactly what it was, what it could do. And especially as I didn't get my product, it was actually 4 weeks till I got my product. I hadn't taken a drop myself. So I was just going on testimonials and what happened for her and a few other people. And I started to think about how many people I could actually help with their health. And I thought so many diseases are started with inflammation. Just about everything you could name starts with inflammation. So I absolutely recognise the power of the product. I got going really quickly, and I followed my daughter's lead, but she was going like hell for leather, and I went the same way. I rang everyone, I messaged everyone, I sent videos to people on Messenger, emails, whatever I could, rang people up. I thought everyone needs to know about this, and that's the way to work it. Work it fast, get there quickly. And I didn't do it for the money, but the money's there if I want to travel a bit more, help my family some more. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful business to be in. Rebecca and Serge are just incredible leaders. The Vita Wellness is such a fantastic website. Everything's on there that you need to help you. We're all here to help everyone if with questions or anything, as most people know us now. So just jump in and go for it. You certainly won't be sorry. I mean, I wonder what I did with my time before. So I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. And I love working with 4 generations of family. We've got brothers and sisters in it, getting results, nephews, nieces, grandkids. You know, it's just amazing. So just go for it.
Wonderful. Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Thank you. Okay, we're opening it up for questions, either about the product, the technology, or the business, the opportunity, the timing, anything.
Yeah, just to build on Amy just put a question in about, you know, when you look at those kits and the volume attributed to each kit, and does the, sorry, can you open that again?
Mhm.
Is the business,
Yep. So points volume.
points volume, obviously attributed all to kits at the moment. And in terms of that opportunity again into the pre-launch, and, you know, we're getting wholesale kits at the moment, but once we're open and you can start getting customers, there's an attributed volume to that as well, which will add to your team volume. Plus you get retail commissions as well, which are paid weekly. So, you know, the scope for additional earning potential will increase quite a bit once we are fully open. But the key part now is to take advantage of this time, right? Because you'd rather be in it now than in a year's time.
Yeah, over the next couple of months, really the focus is on building a distributorship. However, if you've got the opportunity, if you have a clinic, if you've got the opportunity to retail this product to your clients or patients, go for it. We do know a couple of practitioners who are earning, you know, what would be the equivalent of $100,000 a year just retailing to 100 clients that are already coming and visiting. So you've got the retail component. Certainly, you make 100% retail markup. For some people, that's enough. They like to just buy the wholesale kit, receive that, and then sell the bottles for, you know, the profit, and then just reinvest that, buy more stock, and sell to supply customers. But everybody should have the option when they say, well, how much is the product? You say, well, do you want to pay retail or wholesale? And they'll always usually say, well, how much is retail? And then you can tell them, and you say that's a month's supply. Then they'll be curious about, well, how much is wholesale? And you say, well, it's about half of that, and you buy some product up front. So that way you've got enough to last you for a couple of months to really get a good feel. Or if you start sharing it, you might actually make your money back. And so a lot of people just kind of find themselves moving into business mode just through sharing. It's not selling. The product absolutely sells itself. So just through sharing the product. And if you've got the ability to get that into the hands of people and retail it, it's brilliant. Yes, you could put it on your shelf. If you had a health food store, there's no reason why you couldn't also, you know, sell that through your health food store. Buy it wholesale, sell it retail. So the retail part of the business is actually very lucrative, making 100% markup. And a lot of people are doing both. They're retailing and then they're building a distributorship. And this is a global business. It's from New Zealand and Australia. Once this is established, we'll start to go into Asia. And that will, you know, we know how big that will be. Everyone's heard of turmeric, but this is, you know, curcumin with a real twist. So we'll go into Asia, we'll go into South Africa, we've heard. Yay, Unchen, exciting. And, you know, from Europe, where we've just opened, we'll go into the Middle East and into African countries. So it's going to be huge. We are just literally on the precipice. The company sat on this for a long time. They weren't in a hurry. It was very organically grown throughout Mexico. And they were happy. Everything was in Spanish. There was no website. It was just very, very casually kind of shared, and testimonies were, you know, building up. And then it wasn't really until it went into the US that they decided, okay, we could start to replicate opening in different countries and really expanding this globally. And that's right where we are right now. So, you know, the sky's really the limit with the product and the opportunity and the life-changing results. I mean, just something to feel good about as a legacy, to really be making an impact in people's lives and helping change their lives just through the fact that you might have shared a product that they would never have heard about otherwise. I believe in the next couple of years, everybody will know about it, but we certainly do have a window of time where it's still relatively unknown. And so this is why we are working so hard to share it and get it out there.
Yeah. Hey, Amy, just to elaborate on the stores, Vitify itself will not approach a store, right? So they won't approach it for them to retail it. You could, essentially, if you've got a local, I don't know, store, for argument's sake, a health food store, or there's a potential there, right? But they will not sell directly to a store for them to wholesale it.
Everything's independently distributed.
Yeah. What's the other question there?
Markets, yeah, you can sell at markets. Yep, Jess has produced some beautiful, you know, things like what do you call those flags? Those
Banners.
Big banners and beautiful flags and things like that. If you do want to sell at markets and start to get the word out there, we can help you to do that for sure. You obviously need a bit of stock if you're doing that as well. So, and maybe some nice folders with some testimonials and things like that. We're looking into compliance and what's okay to say about the product, because, you know, it is a natural product. It is a supplement. It's not a medicine. It's not a therapeutic. So we have to just always maintain that the body is working the miracles, but the product is helping enormously, you know, just to support the body in doing what it does best. You can do markets now. Yeah,
you can do markets, but stores at the moment, if it's yours, for argument's sake, you could potentially, but to actually start to put it into a store for them to retail it out openly to the market, I would not advise that at the moment. We've got to hold off.
It's more about what can be advertised publicly and what can be done sort of in-house at the moment. So we have to be mindful about what we advertise publicly. Like on Facebook, don't go out there on your Facebook page and start, you know, putting the bottle and all the, you know, the name of it, so people can go off and Google it and just be really discreet about things like that. But talk to us personally about whatever ideas you have about getting it out there, if they're outside of sharing and networking. Because we'll have to just check that everything's compliant and that you're okay to do that, and it's not going to backfire on you and you don't want to harm your own business. But, you know, I'm of the mindset, we're very careful, obviously, because we want to protect this opportunity, but you can also ask for forgiveness rather than permission sometimes. You know, if you didn't know, you just happen to do something and then somebody says, hey, I don't think you can do that. So, oh, sorry, I didn't know. You didn't hear that from me. I think
this is not recorded either.
It's a balance. No, I'm really kidding. It's a balance of, you know, what we've got in our hands. How do we get this out to people? And, you know, that's first and foremost the priority, is getting it into the hands of people. So, yeah.
Incredible. Any other questions? Don't be shy.
Anyone else? You can unmute now if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Love it. She's got a question.
Do you want to unmute, Marvet?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm pretty new.
Welcome.
Thank you. That's been really impressive. I'm just wondering if the presentation that you had for us, Sergio, is available anyway.
Yes, it is.
Yes, absolutely. Everything.
You're going to start tomorrow?
We have, we have all of the tools and the resources. We produce. My daughter, she's an incredible graphic artist. She made that beautiful presentation. We have all of that available on the hub. So as soon as you're a part of our team and a member, and you've signed up, you bought a pack, then you come into our hub and you can access everything that we have, and we'll help you build your business.
Yeah. Just on that really quickly. So if you're new, we definitely would love the person that invited you to add you into the global hub. Okay. But one thing we do reiterate, please put the person that has invited you in, or else you will not be allowed in. And the reason we do that is because one is so we know how to support you, right? When you come in, if you say you're with Amy Watts invited me, we know, and we know how to sort of monitor that and and support. But because we've been very, very successful, really, and a lot of people try to get into the group, right? To try to basically, well, why wouldn't you, right?
I mean, what we're doing, how we're doing it. So
exactly.
that's
So please put your name in
Thanks,
there
guys.
so that we can let you in.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, in August, Stephen Keller and his wife should be coming over. I think it's on the 19th of August. So we'll be around August, maybe going down south somewhere too.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know. We're going to plan to do a kind of meet and greet training.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll see what the numbers are like, whether we get sort of some sort of facility. We do have a big house here, but yeah, we'll keep everybody posted on that. But Stephen Keller is pretty much the highest representative of rank in the company at the moment. We work directly with him as well, and yeah, he's taken his time to come and see us. And obviously, we'll have our pre-launch events and so forth. Not pre-launch, sorry, launch events down the track. Yeah, but
probably around October.
Yeah, we're pushing. Trust me.
We'd love to see this be open in 3 months. We'd love that, and that might not be the official launch, but it'll be the infrastructure, the facilities here, the products in our country. We can locally ship, which means that it's just gonna change the game for all of us.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, don't hold back. Just build a business, build a network, build a team, share as much as you can, invite people to our calls. We do lots of three-way calls as well. If you've got a group, or if you've got people that you think are great networkers that really could take this somewhere, do something big with this, get them in front of us. We're happy to do calls for you on your behalf as well. This is really what we spend a lot of our time doing, is sharing the vision with people that can really move it. So we want big things to happen. We want to keep growing. Okay, anyone else got any questions before we finish
Can
up?
I just add something?
Yep.
What's the ratio when people invite their friends or their prospects to your calls here on Monday? It's a pretty good sign-up rate, I believe.
The conversion is, I would say it's in the 90%, 95%. Some people aren't quite ready. They haven't got the funds. There's reasons. We've not had any negative feedback about this. Some people are just kind of maybe need another exposure. It's very high conversion. So please use this resource. We do this every Monday night. And it's for those of you that have seen it a few times, you might have to sit through it again. But if you're bringing people along, certainly it's a great reason to come and support them and let them see what it's about. And, if anybody's got any feedback for us, if you'd like, things to be better, worse, faster, slower, let us know. We're always open.
Or if you want to do it on a Monday, we're open to that as well, because I get sick of sometimes my own voice and repeating the same thing. But hey, look, any final questions before we let you wonderful people go? Please.
Can I have? I've got a question.
Who's that? Who are
That's
we?
Debbie.
Debbie.
Right.
Debbie?
I've just been talking to a few people from overseas, and some in Europe, one in South Africa, and a sister in Indonesia. Because it's not launched in Asia when we talked about surgery, but it's just have to refresh my memory again. So can I just send the bottles in individual, or have you experienced yourself or other people, if you buy it, sell it, send these bottles as one-off to the different persons, or can you just send a packet of 6 or something? to a country.
Okay,
And
the trickiest part about doing that is if we're not in a pre-launch, which means that the company hasn't got their sights set on officially opening in that country in 3, 6 or 12 months. Like they took them about 12 months to open Europe. We've been going for about 4 months now. So in the next couple of months, hopefully we'll be open. The company needs to have a plan and their sights set on opening. So if you start sending bottles over and then we can't supply that demand, or we don't have a facility to sort of replicate that easily, it's a little bit tricky. But if you have the ability and you've got some good people over there who'd like to take leadership and actually help facilitate an opening, we can talk about that. It's the things like, you know, customs, how many bottles can you send? How does it come in? Who's getting it shipped to them and then shipping it over? What are the costs involved in all of that sort of stuff? So the pre-launch that we've just done into Australia and New Zealand was that Stephen Keller was receiving the boxes in the US and then shipping them to us via UPS, and we were paying that extra international shipping fee to him. And that's allowed us to start this kind of pre-launch situation. So we're looking into personally maybe Malaysia, and you've probably got some contacts overseas, but it is in Europe anyway now. So you're looking at maybe Indonesia, or is it to get people to have the product so they can have it, or is it for expanding the business into those countries?
To expanding the business into the business. My sister.
Okay, so just on that, you know, we had a situation tonight actually in relation to that, but because of again that humble position that we're in, that we can talk to the owner and the sales director, is that they'll tend to listen to us and the people at the kind of top that are really moving the business, because if they have you can imagine thousands of distributors going, oh, can you open here, can you open there, can you open there, they're just not going to be able to do it. And when they look at opening a market, they would.
Sorry, who's that? I just have to respond to this quickly. Lynette, that's not the, that's definitely not where you sign up. We'll talk to you about that in a second.
Yeah. So generally when they look at it is someone that's very experienced in pretty much setting up networks, that has contacts, that has contacts and sort of infrastructure and so forth, because it's not an easy thing, right? Just for anyone to just try to open a country if they don't know what they're doing. So, and also, you know, funnily, we just heard tonight, New Zealand wasn't even on the radar for Vitify. It wasn't.
We just did it.
We just did it. Because of Stephen, he said, well, Australia, but can you add New Zealand to it? From what I'm gathering, and here we are, and we're blowing it away.
We can definitely have a conversation about that, Debbie. And if there's, I know Larry might be on here too for Malaysia. So let's chat about that. We have to. There's a lot of things to consider, obviously, about costs and the process to do that. But it certainly will be on the radar. It just depends who wants to put their hand up and do the work.
It is more that I've worked with other network marketing companies, and when they hadn't launched in the country yet, what you could do is register that person as a postal address here in New Zealand. Until
100% you can do that. Yeah. If there's a postal address here, and then you're prepared to send product over, then why not? But it's like, how much could you send? What are the requirements from that country? Every country's got different customs requirements, etc. But yeah, you could do that. Why not? Okay, so and in terms of how many you are, sorry, is it 2 bottles, is it 6 bottles? That will depend on, it's probably a personal use amount, so it doesn't get flagged as a as trying to come in as a and I think in some Asian countries it's quite strict as well, so we have to really investigate that.
Well, my sister said that Indonesia is one of the biggest producers of turmeric, actually. So
yes.
We know that this turmeric is organic turmeric, comes from India, but the curcumin that's extracted from the organic Indian turmeric can't be called organic because it's an extract, even though it's from turmeric. Grandkids, there's a couple of questions here about how to include family and grandchildren. So at this stage, because we're part of the US system, over there, people who are under 18 can't have a social security number, so they can't technically be distributors. So one way around that might be that you have a business name that is kind of earmarked for a person under 18, or an account is opened in a grandparent name or somebody else's name that could eventually be transferred over to the child. There's a couple of ways around it. So we can chat about that when we do a strategy session, Irene. I think you're part of Wendy's team. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, great. So we'll chat about that. We're doing a bit of strategy with Wendy and her team this week. So we'll definitely help you structure the best for you.
Right.
And okay, quickly, Lynette asked, is this where we sign up? Okay, so there's a website called vidify.com, which is not the official website. It's actually a very naughty distributor who has registered that and made it look like it's the official Vidify website. There's no official Vidify website. We're all independent distributors. So that person, there's legal action being taken. Yes, they're trying to get that shut down because it's not the official website. So please don't go to vidify.com and buy anything or sign up, because you'll end up being, supporting somebody overseas. I think they're in America.
It's actually in Europe.
In Europe. So yeah, so talk to us about it. We'll give you, whoever's invited you, you'll go to their website link and you'll sign up, you'll enroll through their website link. So we're all connected together, but we're not being poached by somebody over the other side of the world who has nothing to do with us and won't support us. So that's a big one. That's just a big part of the reason why we don't go on social media and post a photo of, the bottle with the name on it, for instance, because people will just say, oh, what's that? And they'll go and Google it and they'll end up at vidify.com thinking, oh, I'll just buy some product here and try it. And this person's kind of doing a big scoop. So that hopefully won't last much longer.
Yeah. Lee, once I sign up, can I order?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So different markets.
Can you elaborate on that, if you don't mind? Unmute yourself. Just
Lee, about different markets, Mexico, US directly.
Like for
Yeah.
who, though?
This is Lee. Sorry, my camera's not working.
That's okay.
Hi, because I'm going back because I live in Mexico, so I'm going back there. I'm in New Zealand currently visiting family, but I also have friends in the US. So I'm just wondering, when I come back, can I order it there and just bring it back with me?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes. So just to quickly answer that, when you sign up, you if you're living in New Zealand, you've got a New Zealand address, you sign up here. And then if you're over in Mexico, you can go into your back office and you can order and change your address for that shipping order and get it sent to you directly over there. And if you've got friends and family in Mexico, they can just jump on your website and sign up or order, and you'll get all the commissions straight into your back office because they're actually officially open. They have been for a number of years. So any country where we are officially open, you can just give them your website link. They can jump on, they can register, they can buy product. You'll get all the commissions straight away. It's just that because we're in Australia and New Zealand in a pre-launch,
sure,
we have to wait a little bit longer for that privilege. But yeah, that's great. You're very fortunate that you've got that sort of, you can be in multiple places. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You could potentially have more than one account as well. If you've got different tax file numbers, IRD numbers, and ABN numbers, you could potentially have more than one account.
Oh, okay, great.
That's
Thank
something
you.
to think about as well.
Yeah.
It is. Now, I wouldn't have to register because I'm a Mexican permanent resident.
Okay.
I have to look into that and see whether I need to do anything for their system there. But no, if I get through the back office, that would be great. And it's still being grown in Mexico?
What's that?
It's still being grown in Mexico?
The business?
Is that where it's originating from?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, there's a whole Spanish contingent with, testimonials, and you know more than that.
Yeah, I've got so in Colombia, so it opened in Mexico first, then it went to Colombia, then went to Dominican Republic. So it was all Latin speaking. If you need access to anything in Spanish, contact us. I'm in direct contact with the lady that opened Colombia, and she's given me a lot of resources in Spanish, because I was looking at, we're looking at opening up a line of business with my family. So they wanted, Spanish specific like testimonial videos and written content. So please reach out to me if you would like a hand with that. That's not a problem.
Sure. I actually spoke to a friend of mine in Mexico the other day about it because with the inflammation side of it. So I'll connect through my sister and reach out and get that when it's ready. Thank you.
No problem.
Wonderful, wonderful. And there's also different pricing in Mexico and Colombia. So the pack sizes are very different over there too. I think they're generally smaller, less expensive.
Correct. I definitely know the ones in Colombia were, because obviously exchange rates don't favor, especially with, say, pesos. So the kit sizes will be different to what you saw tonight, just to accommodate the cost of it. Because, you know, if you had a kit, say, 1250 PV over there, would cost an exorbitant amount of money, I would imagine. So,
and so, you know, you might look at the cost of the kits and say, oh, they're in USD, but the commissions are in USD. And when we talk about helping you to generate a 5-figure USD a month income in 3 to 6 months, we are not kidding. We are not kidding. It's a great time to maximize your effort and input over the next 3 to 6 months while we still have that privilege, because the dollar, obviously our dollar is not as strong against the US, but that works in our favor when we're receiving US commissions as well.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you both so much.
Pleasure. Someone asked, Delphine, is there someone Malaysian that does the presentation? Larry.
Larry.
Larry only just joined a few days ago, so I can't be that mean.
Delphine, no, do you want to put your hand up? We'd love somebody to do the presentation in Malaysian.
I'm not good at the Bahasa.
Sorry, what?
I can't speak Malay.
Okay, you're out. Okay.
Not
We might have to rely on AI for this translations.
Yeah.
Family in Holland, yeah, there are some discounts available. There's some free shipping still going on in Europe as well. And certainly the warehouse for all of Europe is in Amsterdam. So we've got, there will be some discounts, Betty. We'll have to check on when you go on your website, you click on the flag of the appropriate country, and then you see what comes up, what banners come up, what promos, what when you go to the shop, what the prices are in euro, etc. So you have to look at it through that way.
Wonderful. So, and we have some.
Go and watch a Zoom like this in their time zone. Yeah, we've got a few. I don't know. Yes, actually, yes, we do have. There's a lot going on in Holland. I will post that. We've got one post in one guide that's a worldwide Zoom schedule. So just check on that. It's in our opportunity calls guide. It's the worldwide one. And I can reach out to E1 and see what else they're doing and could they provide that. I'll do that right now, actually.
Excellent. That's the exciting part, right? I mean, here we are in New Zealand, Australia, and we can talk about doing business pretty much around the world, and soon to obviously increase into some amazing countries. So, I mean, we always said there'd be nothing more exciting than making money while you sleep, right? So
can I just ask one more question? If you got people
Sure.
like in Europe,
yes,
you can give them your website's link, and then they can order.
correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct. Like you can do this now. This is the beauty, is that we are in pre-launch and not open. But if you've got somebody in an open country, by all means, you send them your shop link and they can buy it straight off there, and the commissions will be in your e-wallet the following Wednesday.
Yep. So that's USA, Mexico, Colombia, Dominican Republic, 27 EU countries, and also a couple of non-EU countries. UK, there's I think Switzerland and a few others. They're just finalising and tweaking the shipping on those ones, but it's pretty exciting. So as soon as you sign up and you get an account and a wholesale pack, you get a website, and that website link then is yours to share with anybody. It's not that useful here right now because people can't just jump on and order a bottle or two. but they can certainly sign up under you here. That's what we want. So yeah, lots of potential.
Yeah, Jess is right. You get the points associated to that sale as well.
Yeah, so you get the commission, you get the retail commission, and then you get all the points from the products or the kits going through your back office group volume, and you get paid on that as well.
That's why customers will be exciting everyone. So any final questions? I mean, I know I would say time has disappeared, but it's always enjoyable. Any final ones? That's
sounds good. So please just get back to the person that invited you, make a time. If you need help with signups, we can stay back for 10 or 15 minutes. If there's anybody that really wants to sign up tonight, we can help you with the person that brought you here. I'm also available some part of tomorrow, but yeah, make sure you just don't wait too long. Don't hesitate. We're right at the beginning of the month, right at the beginning of the new financial year in Australia. New Zealand's a bit different here, but just honestly, the best advice is make a decision and just go for it. Don't hesitate. Maximize this, do as much as you can in the next 3 to 6 months, and really set yourselves up for an incredible ride and a big future. And lots of freedom to do it how you want with full support. And as soon as you're ready to branch out on your own, if you need help doing that, some of our team members take a lot of initiative and they go and create their own Facebook groups, and they have their own vision for how they want their business to go, or they integrate it with existing health businesses. The sky's the limit. So
thank you, everyone. Debbie, by the way, Debbie, congratulations on your benefits already. So that's great to hear. I read that before.
Amazing. Yeah, for everybody that's just started trying the product and had results in a couple of days, we're so thankful.
Andy, you too. So have a amazing rest of the evening.
Oh, and Catherine's here.
Oh, there's Catherine.
I think you must have come in a bit late. You've had some good results in a short time too, haven't you?
I have. I'm walking again, so I'm a human being.
Oh, wow.
Instead of like a penguin, which is just so amazing. And the Menias is just getting better and better every day. My stomach has settled down. So, I'm such an advocate for this product. I'd sing its praises all day and all night long. So, yeah. And it reflects, I go out and people say, what's happened to you?
Then you share, right?
Well, yes, I think that's evident in what's sort of happened in the last 10 days. So the answer is absolutely and unequivocally yes.
Yes.
Look, just one question. When you said that New Zealand was opening, does that include Australia too? Or is that...
If you're lucky, we'll be servicing you guys from here. I think the order will be probably New Zealand first. Only because aren't we we're so competitive. I've got a foot in both camps, so I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland here, but what we've heard is it's probably a little easier to bring the product into New Zealand. The regulatory stuff is less rigorous, and we would have a faster time frame in which we could start here and then be able to replicate that in Aussie. That's what we think. We haven't had it confirmed, but it's looking like that's probably the way it will start, which will be fine. It'll be better anyway, either way it goes, because the shipping's only just over the difference.
Yeah, I mean, Australia's bigger than New Zealand, but the All Blacks are better than the Wallabies, right? But, look, it's just about the beginning phase. It's about getting supply into the Australasian region. If it starts here, there will be a facility after that in Australia. So don't think that, you Aussies, that we
no, it's more just because I have several contacts within that are practicing health practitioners, to get them operating under comfortable situations instead of under the counter situations. It's challenging because trying to make them feel really comfortable with the situation and not sound at the same time, not sounding like a back door.
Yep.
It's yeah, well, the only word for it is it's very challenging, and to have something that works. I mean, if the product came from New Zealand to Australia, that's not an issue, you know, but the moment coming from the US here and having the problems that we have coming from customs through to well, I'm in Geelong, coming through to Geelong, it is a problem. So that's why the question, because it would be very beneficial for it to be easier than what it is.
Oh, 100%. Look, we're fast tracking it as much as we can go. And as I mentioned, it took them 12 months to open Europe, and they weren't expecting us. We did it in record time. So they are trying to accommodate us as quickly as possible. And we had a meeting today with that about actually helping them with all the paperwork and stuff, because we live locally. And then figuring out the rest, you know, in very quick succession. So we believe you me, we'll be doing it as fast as we can. Maybe you heard about it too early. That's the problem, you know.
Don't say that. It was the reason that I signed up, you know. I mean, thinking it's coming to Australia and going to happen. Woohoo.
Yeah, no, it will. It's look, we're tracking really, really well, and everybody's very excited about the progress and what we're doing as a team.
Any help to get warehousing and business signed up here in Geelong, I'm still a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
All right, I'm writing it down. Yep. Okay. Chamber of Commerce in Geelong. Yep.
And there is lots of manufacturing, warehousing, office space, yada yada, close to Avalon Airport.
Yes.
And we have one of the largest, we have the largest regional Australia Post depots here in Geelong. And it's going to cost less to be down here than in Melbourne. So it's
would you mind putting that in either an email or a message to us so that we can just forward that on to corporate?
Absolutely.
Thank you. That would be so helpful, because you might, you know, anybody that's putting things forward, they're very, very welcoming, because they've got so much, you know, their attention's focused on Europe. Obviously, they've got all of that to do. But anything we can help with and kind of steer and guide them in the direction that we need it as the field leaders who are moving the product, they're going to be very, very open to and very grateful for. And then they'll obviously have to assess that based on however they're weighing it up. But that would be really helpful. Awesome.
And Air Asia is coming back to Geelong, so that's very interesting.
Perfect.
Okay, so
Perfect.
Avalon, yeah.
Like,
Avalon's
yeah,
there.
I mean, like I said, we've taken the initiative here. We've started the ball rolling, but I would certainly, you know, I would love that if I could get help with Australia. Not that I'm putting my hand up for Australia, but we've got a lot of team in Australia as well. So, you know, if we can do this together like this and give them the options, they will. They've already said we'd rather kind of listen to you guys.
Keep it in-house rather than go and try and source it ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we do have a couple of people in Sydney that have put their hands up, but again, it sounds like the sort of solution that you're offering might even be better because of, say, it's regional, right next to Avalon, etc. And even if it could come from New Zealand and then a large amount go into a warehouse in Australia, that would be super beneficial. And so
absolutely. And with everything so close and so integrated, it's an exceptional option.
Great. Okay. If you could put that in an email, that'd be the best. Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah. I don't have your email address, so maybe you want to.
Oh, just Denise has it. She can pass it on. Or we can just put it in the chat. We can put it in the chat, and anyone who wants to email us.
Yeah. Okay. Jeff, I don't know if Joanne's still online, but we have just received about the Dutch calls already. So we'll forward that to you. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Kia ora.
Oh wow!
We'll send that
I'll
to
send that to you right now.
This is the Dutch Zoom calls that they do.
There you go. You should have it.
That's in Holland, I suppose.
Huh?
The Dutch calls are in Holland.
Yeah. Yep. Do you want that too, Debbie?
Yeah.
Send that to you and to Joanne. Anyone else while I'm at it?
Oh, Betty. Got it.
Yep.
Yep.
Oops.
There you go, guys. So that's how it goes. So we're lucky to be in a group with all the other leaders and most of the other open countries. So we managed to ask that, and the guy was up and send it. So
There you go.
awesome, done. Okay, it's sent through. Thank you. Wow, what a amazing evening.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for your time. A lot of you have stayed on. We're very humbled.
Sylvia.
Lots of amazing questions. We
Anyone
can't.
else wanting to
Yep.
sign up? Should we hang around?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Walks. All right, guys.
Great. Well, have a great productive week, guys, and we shall. Some of you I'm seeing on strategy calls this week. If you do want to reach out for strategy, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday.
See you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Ho Marie.
Okay.